mynews.studio.
Across Europe, solar panels have just surpassed nuclear reactors in electricity production. Could this shift have wider implications for how the world approaches energy?
Today is August 9th, 2025. For the first time, solar power has become the leading source of electricity in the European Union. In June, solar accounted for 22.1% of the EU's electricity, just ahead of nuclear at 21.8% and wind at 15.8%. That's a notable change. What factors made this possible, and why did some countries move faster than others?
13 EU countries set new solar records. The Netherlands reached a 40.5% solar share, and Greece hit 35.1%. But it's not just about sunny weather. The momentum started with the Green Deal in 2019, which aimed for climate neutrality by 2050. Then, after the 2022 energy crisis,
That period when the EU was scrambling to reduce reliance on Russian fossil fuels. I remember that.
exactly, that crisis accelerated things. The EU set strict targets. By 2030, renewables must make up at least 42.5% of the energy mix, with an aim for 45%. But what really drove the solar surge was policy. For example, starting in 2027, all new buildings must have solar panels. There are phased mandates for existing public buildings as well, plus faster permitting under the Renewable Energy Directive. It became much easier to connect new solar projects to the grid, especially in places like the Netherlands and Greece.
So it's not just about building more panels. Streamlining installation and connection played a big part too. Do we know how this affected actual numbers?
In June, installations surged across the continent. Germany's solar output increased 30% compared to last year. France, Belgium, Denmark, and Poland also saw significant jumps. Plus, there was a heat wave that boosted electricity demand, and solar was well placed to handle it.
With solar leading now, what are the effects on energy prices and jobs? Are households seeing any relief? And what about employment in the sector?
There are clear impacts. Solar electricity is now 41% cheaper than the least expensive fossil fuel, according to IRENA. That's helped keep consumer bills stable or even lower in some cases. On jobs, the EU solar sector grew from 466,000 in 2021 to over 648,000 by the end of 2022. Projections suggest it could reach over 1 million jobs by the end of this year.
What about reliability? During that June heatwave, did solar help avoid power shortages?
Yes, solar's record output helped the grid manage the spike in demand, but it's not all smooth sailing. Early 2025 actually saw lower total renewable generation because wind and hydro were both down. That shows why a balanced energy mix is still important.
So even with these successes, there are still gaps. What's the main takeaway for Europe, and maybe for other regions watching this transition?
Europe's solar milestone is more than a regional achievement. It shows that large economies can move quickly toward clean energy with the right mix of policy, investment, and technology. Households with solar and battery storage could save between €800 and €1,100 per year. But for developing regions, challenges like weak grids and limited funding still stand in the way.
Is Europe's approach something other regions can follow, or is this a unique case?
There are key principles: clear policies, workforce training, and local manufacturing. But not every country has Europe's grid or resources. For less developed regions, off-grid solar, international investment, and capacity building will be crucial.
So, Europe's solar progress goes beyond its borders. It's a reference point, not a universal template. As other regions look for climate solutions, Europe's experience is useful, but not a final answer.
That's right. As more areas turn to clean energy, the real-world lessons from both successes and challenges will shape what comes next.
Solar panels overtaking nuclear in Europe isn't just a headline, it's a shift with real meaning. Thanks for joining us for this look at Europe's solar achievement and its wider implications.
Thank you for listening. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. Try it now for free.